Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to take a look at the Lego Marvel, the new Guardians ship. This is from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It is set number 76255. It has 1,108 pieces, and I paid $100 for this set. Now, this set, as you can see, the box is a little big for my setup right here, but I'm thinking this will be manageable once I start building here, but I could be proven wrong. So, in this video, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to put this together and then I'm going to give my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so that is this Lego Marvel The New Guardians ship. This is pretty awesome, but it is going to be difficult for me to talk about in my current setup here. But I really enjoyed the build of this. In fact, once I started, I did not want to stop. I thought maybe this would be a set I would do kind of in two sittings or in over a period of time to break it up. But I just could not stop once I started this. So I really enjoyed building this set, and I'm going to go through it like I normally do. Instruction manual is big, very big, good. It's good size, there's good stuff in here, but it's about standard for instruction manuals now. And the colors of this really work for me. There's kind of this weird, I don't know if it's a gray or like a teal, like a grayish teal, bluish greenish color. Then there's this kind of I don't know what blue this is, but it's really nice. I don't know if it's azure or I don't know what type of blue. And then there's this pink, and I really love the colors in this. There's also some gold accents that work really well for me, and it has some of these translucent satin pink, or these kind of opalescent or kind of sparkly transparent colors that I really love, and we can see some in here as well, which I think is terrific. But this build was super fun. I think it looks great. I think there's probably potential for play and display. It does come with a display stand here, and it works well, and it's sturdy. My overall thoughts is that this is pretty darn good. But first we will look at the minifigures like I normally do. I'm going to put this on its stand and move it out of the way a little bit here so we can take a look at these minifigures. So the first one, and these minifigures I will say are a little bit disappointing in my mind. So there's some good stuff and some not so good stuff. So this is Peter Quill. This is Star-Lord. This is a good print for the torso. There's printing in the midsection. Does have like a little Guardians insignia in the middle. Some metallic printing in there. Some good fine details in on the kind of edges and in the corners here. Peter Quill does have his blasters or his accessories there, which are somewhat unique to him, I think, is the only character who would use those. We get printing on the legs. Some of it is hard to see. There is some lines down here where like the knees would be that are pretty subtle and can get lost in the color of the plastic there. And we have printing on the feet as well. There is nothing on the arms, and the back is about what you would expect, continuing from the front. This arm is the kind of pearl silver arm, so that's nice, but torso here is okay. As far as the face printing goes, we get some nice kind of patchy stubble in some ways, a little cocky expression. Hairpiece is just okay for me, not great, but fine. We get the sideburns there. This character does have an alternate face where they are more serious or unhappy or displeased there, and that's okay. So that's a Peter Quill Star-Lord. I don't know if Lego's ever done a Star-Lord helmet or face mask at minifigure size. They may have, and I'm just not remembering. But it would have been nice to have gotten that in here. We didn't, and that will kind of bring me to the other minifigures here. So the next one I will show is Nebula, and if anything looks, familiar, it is because the torso print is identical as far as I can tell. So different. Oh wait, did I put these on the wrong one? Maybe Nebula is supposed to have the metallic arm. Yes. Well, so they are identical to for the most part they are identical, but one of these characters does have a metallic arm, and I believe that is not Peter Quill, that is not Star-Lord, that is Nebula. So this is what Peter Quill should have looked like. My apologies for that. But then here is Nebula, and as we can see, the torsos are largely the same. They do have the mismatched arm there. The legs are exactly the same. And the back of the torso is all going to be exactly the same too. And that is going to continue for pretty much the other Guardians that are in this set. So when looking at Nebula, the other only thing to make note of is the face print here and the color of the head, which is pretty good. It looks like my printing could be better. It's okay. It's just fine. But there's some detail on there going around to the back. No alternate face, of course, but some details on the back of the head. The next character we will look at is Mantis. Again, same torso, same legs, same middle piece as the other characters. Same back is essentially gets covered up. The color for the face is pretty good, and I think it matches the antenna pretty well, even though the antenna are a separate piece from the head. So we do have one head here and another alternate face for Mantis here. And the antenna are kind of this softer rubbery plastic on the hairpiece, and the hairpiece is pretty good. And I think they did a pretty good color match here between the antenna and the kind of the face there. So that's pretty good, especially considering that they're different types of plastic and they're different pieces. I think those match pretty well, so that's nice and good to have this figure. I just wish maybe they had more unique torsos and legs designs. The last one of the Guardians is Drax. Drax has these couple little blades, knives here. Again, same torso, same legs as the other characters. And I'm not really sure about the color of Drax's skin here. It doesn't quite look right for me, but I can't quite place why. I don't know if it needs to be... It's just a weird kind of muted green in my opinion, and I don't know if it's... I don't know. It just doesn't feel like Drax to me, but like the printing on the face is okay. No alternate face, of course, but we do get some printed details on the back of Drax's head there. But again, same torso, same legs. So all of these Guardian characters are pretty much the same. And I believe I already did a video about Baby Rocket's ship, which is also from the new movie. And I think Rocket was also wearing this same outfit, which means I have, now I don't know how many of the 5 of these torsos that are all pretty much the same. I have to double check to see if Rocket is in one of these, but I think he's wearing the same kind of getup here. And yeah, I'm a little disappointed by that. It might be true to the movie. It might be true that these are what they're wearing by and large when they're in this ship and stuff, but it makes, getting a variety of figures is kind of a selling point, but this does diminish that a little bit because you're just getting the same bodies with some different heads that could be better. I think Drax's head could be better. I think Quill should have a face mask, find a way to how to do that. And so they're okay. They're a little disappointing, but there is another figure in here that I think is actually quite good, and that is for Adam Warlock. Now, I believe this is the first time this character is showing up in a Lego set. I believe this movie is the introduction to this character. And so we get a really interesting minifigure here with gold face, gold hair, kind of pearl gold, gold arms, the gold torso there, and then printing with like metallic gold printing. And I'm going to
move these minifigure accessories down a little bit. Really nice printing for the torso. I love the little like skull type thing up there on the neck. Just really, really good detail and really well done printing. Very little gap between the torso and the midsection. That looks terrific. And then down to the legs, we get even more metallic gold. I think this is a really, really good minifigure. It does come with a cloth cape. It is one of the ones with just one hole in them. So it's kind of a flowier cape. And the back, again, really, really nice metallic gold printing in there. Just good detail, good printing all around. Very happy with this figure. This is great. And it has these minifigure accessories, which are Adam Warlock's energy, blast, magic things that he does. And I don't know if I've seen these before, but I'm assuming they've been used before. But they are a projectile like a stud shooter or a bolt shooter. And how you operate them is by pushing in there, and they shoot out of the minifigure hands. And that's kind of interesting. It works. It just works, which is neat. And I didn't exactly know how it was going to work, but it does. And that's cool. And they're a nice molded piece in this translucent here. So I think those are cool. Would have liked to get an extra of these. But either way, this is a really, really good minifigure. And I think people are probably going to want this minifigure for their collections or whatever. And if it's only available in this set, maybe this set will sell really well, or maybe people will buy this set, take this minifigure, and get rid of the rest. I'm not sure. Adam Warlock's cool. Really good minifigure. I don't know what the character is going to be like in the new movie. I know the character a little bit from the comics, and I know the character in the Marvel Snap game. But this is a great figure. I love gold, and I think the printing on here is really, really good. And maybe it's just because the other Guardians figures feel very bland in this set that this one really, really sticks out. But I think this is a great figure. So that's really, really nice, and good accessories there as well. So with the minifigures all looked at, that's 5 minifigures, 4 Guardians, we can take a look at the new Guardians ship. So this ship is a really interesting design. And I think Guardians does have, and I mentioned this during my mini rocket or baby rockets ship video, is that Guardians of the Galaxy seems one of the properties that can like really go in interesting directions with their ship design and everything else, because this is really, really cool and looks different than say just a Star Wars ship, and that's because of the colors, but also just the shaping of it and some of the design choices here. But even just it's very, very different. It's very science fiction and fantasy, but it's also very like, it's just very cool, very well done. So I love the shape of this thing. It has these nice big they're octagonal, but kind of circular hoops on either side. I believe it normally flies like this with one on top of the other. And those are done in a really cool way. And I think they look like a lot rounder than I might have thought they would be. I mean, circles with Lego is sometimes its own little difficult thing, but I think these are achieved really, really well and in a pretty basic way. I mean, it's essentially using the mech arm and leg pieces that don't bend but have that slight angle in it. I don't know if it's 30 degrees or what the actual angle is here, or maybe it's 45. Either way, those mech elbows and mech knees that don't bend, that are fixed, it uses a bunch of those parts. And then we use these vented slopes or vented angled pieces here to kind of give more the impression of rounding it out. And then it uses some kind of details building out the outside to cover up some of the more straight edged octagonal stuff. And it's really, really well done. And it was kind of fun to build, even though it was pretty repetitive. So like both of these octagonal or these hoops, these rings. They have a pretty similar build for the most part, but I didn't mind it at all. In fact, I really liked it. I thought that was really really fun and interesting. And then they're connected to this sort of, I don't know if it's the fuselage or the cockpit or this forward bulk of the ship, which almost looks like a beak to me for whatever reason, the way that it angles together here from all these different ways. These are held on there with some good Technic beams, Technic pins, and it feels very sturdy. It doesn't feel like there is a little bit of wiggle for these. Like there's a little bit of play, but they're very locked in there, and I wouldn't be too concerned about them warping or bending or breaking or anything unless it is positioned in. I think if you sat it down like this for a while, eventually this would flay out in a way that would put stress on the pieces. But as is, in most other, even laying it down like this, not on the stand, might put some undue stress on some of these connections, but I'm not positive. But it does come with this stand, so there's not really a reason to try to keep it a certain way, without using the stand. But so this is really great, and I'm going to try to go through this and show all the different details. One of the first things I'll show is that these panels on the side, which close up this cockpit area, this whole thing is the first thing you build. It's on a hinge a little bit here, so it can be moved a little bit, and it can also be detached. And when you detach that, you can see some of the gold Technic pins, which I really like, some other gold details, some kind of like greebling-esque details in here, but also some pretty significant gaps right there. So these do a good job of covering it up. The other side is actually another one of those. And so these cover up the gaps. They allow the angle to kind of all come to more of a point here on the sides, which is really nice. And these are the first thing that you build out of the first bag. You build these, and I love the colors. So you can really see this kind of weird bluish green, and this awesome pink color, including this piece, which I've seen used as a windscreen. I've seen used as a flower petal or like a leaf, but I don't think I have it in that color. Really great. And these are also intended to be like little pods that can detach from the main ship and can fit a minifigure to scoot around in. So these are really unique. They serve multiple purposes. They could be detached and used for play, like this, I believe, or some way like something like this, which is great. But then they also they give more detail to the ship, more shaping to the front of the ship in a really cool way. And I think that's really well done. So they just clip in there like that, and then they can fold in, and it kind of brings all this to this point that I think is achieved really well. They don't have a controls or a joystick or a steering wheel or anything. I would have liked maybe a printing on here, even though their feet go right up next to that, or flip that around and do a printed slope there or something for controls. I think that wouldn't have been too bad. And I don't even know, I think it could be done in a way, especially if it was on this face, that it would be hidden when it's on the attached to the main ship. But I would have liked if there was some way to have done that. But these are really neat looking and great for play, and really cool. We can kind of see the connection. It uses one clip and one of the kind of joint that would normally, like the ratchet joints that would fit into this end. And so it's got a sturdy enough connection there where I don't feel like it's going to just fly off. And it closes up to get that really nice angle. And then these kind of leaf pieces here, or what I'm calling, these pink pieces that have been used as leaves, can kind of be angled to whatever kind of angle you'd want, and they could even be extended back while these are attached to the ship if you like, but I like them kind of covering up where a minifigure might sit when they're detached there. But there is, you find the angle that you like or that works for you, and that's really cool. Going to the front of this, right here in the top, if we open this up, we have a translucent red windscreen, and we have inside some places for some minifigures. So there are places for 2, maybe 3 minifigures in here under this cockpit, and there are controls in here on both sides. So over here, and same down below. And I don't know if a minifigure can fit there too. So it might be 3 or it might be 2 minifigures positioned there. Really, really nice. And if they're in here, and this is closed, let me get Nebula in here quick. Come on. Let me just, forgive me. Stud down. Okay. Can't really see through it too well. So it's a pretty dark, translucent there, pretty opaque, hard to see, but good that you can get a couple characters in there. Good for play, good for display, and that's great. I think when the set includes, all these characters, it's nice to have a place to put them. So that's sort of this cockpit. We can see here's one of the stickers. I forgot to point out on each of these side pods, this is a sticker, and this is a sticker. And I'll just point out the rest of the stickers while I'm doing that. Stickers on both of these, curved tiles here. Stickers on these slopes tiles, and then on the other ring, it is the same. So we get those identical stickers, as well as on the side here. This piece is a sticker on like a Nexonite shield, and this piece is a sticker, and that's the same for the other side too, right here, some stickers. And that's all of the stickers that are used in this set. I will show the sticker sheet. I think they use the stickers well. There are 2 other internal stickers that you can't see from the outside, and I will try and find those. Let me see here. So one of the other things is from the front of this, if we open up the bottom, a minifigure can be placed in here as well, just sort of below this main cockpit on this other angle. So if the one cockpit is up here, another one is down there, and a character can be studded on these. And there is then a sticker for a control panel type thing on the underside of this, and that folds in there, and that's where there's some kind of significant gaps here that get covered up for the most part and for most viewing angles by these side pods there, which I think is really, really good. And there is one more of those internal stickers, and I need a moment to try and find it. So forgive me for not knowing where that other one is. Huh. Where is that other one? There is one more place where one of those internal stickers is used, and for whatever reason I can't seem to figure out where. I thought it would be up here for a moment, but it's not. Let me reference the instructions quick. Aha, I have found it. Silly me. So the other internal sticker for that other control panel is at the front of this the main cockpit there. So it is right here. So that is the other sticker that I was looking for and found. But it was not where I remembered it being, but fine. So control panels on the side here and a kind of one on the front there. Then there's one down here and a character could be studded there. And that's all really good for play and for display there. I think that's really nice. I think once you build one of these first, then you kind of attach this middle section, then you build this other one, and then you add on these kind of details here in these couple spots, which help with the lines, help with the colors, help cover up some of the connection points in a really nice way. And I think the end result is really, really good. So then moving on to the back of the ship here, besides the little greebly details and stuff, we do have in the center a big kind of thruster. We get some nice gold pieces in there, some gold vented pieces, some gold here as well underneath. And then that thruster is that really nice new like translucent satin color, satin pink maybe. So it has kind of a sparkly, iridescent, opalescent kind of pop to it, which I really, really love. It's a great, great color, and I'm happy that it was included in here. I actually didn't know that, and I was very surprised when I saw it, and I got super thrilled because it comes with some pieces, these rounded like dome bricks pieces, but then this outer piece is a ring. It's like a circular plate with the hole cut out of the middle. And you get several of those, and I was very, very happy about that. So this is all really cool. It's one of the places you could grip this. There's good handling for this. I think like this is also really good. I think, you know, like this is fine. So there's different ways to hold it, but this is where a lot of the mass is, and everything's connected to it really quite well, and the angle achieved is really, really good. Going back to the rings here, they have some other kind of compartments and some other stuff. So these kind of windscreen things can pop up. We get a little more gold underneath there. And in here, I mean, theoretically a character probably could be, no, maybe not. I don't know if a character is supposed to be studded in there, but what can be, there's little clips here. So weapons or accessories, minifigure accessories can be studded in there while we're traveling. Same on the other side here, same right here, and same over here. So you get several of those, which is really, really nice. Some good storage in there. I really like that. And I like the color of these, like this cockpit windscreen piece. It's, you know, a good color match, and it's quite good and not a piece that I see very often. So that's really, really nice. Then we have these sort of things with these stickers on them, these bigger kind of panels, these block panels, which are fun to build. And they use a like Speed Champions mudguard or fender or wheel well piece here. And then you use several of those in that same good color, that weird bluish greenish blue. And you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those in this set for all those these little blocks, which is awesome. There's no like function for those necessarily. They're just kind of a nice detail. And then we get the continuation of the circles here, or the rings, and we get these thrusters at the side, which can be moved about a little bit. They are held in with Technic here, so they can be folded this way a little bit, they can be rotated, and they can move that way as well. So those can be positioned how you like. And again, it uses those circular plates in that kind of satin pink translucent there, and one of those dome pieces as well. I was actually kind of upset that they were putting these gray hollow stud 1x2s in there, because I was like, oh, you're gonna cover up that pink, that satin color, that sparkly awesome color. We're gonna cover that up with dark bluish gray. And the end effect is really nice, how you get that peeking through the hollow studs, and there's still enough of it visible that it doesn't like ruin the effect. But in my head, I was like, why cover that up? It's such a good color. I just want to see all of it. But we get 4 of those thrusters out on the outside there. So a lot of stuff going on. The color match for these stickers is okay. It's not perfect. Could be better. I wish it was better. But I've also seen worse. So not that that should be a compliment, but let me see if I can show that. So we can see here, the color match on that is not as perfect as it should be, probably. This one, it's a little harder to tell, but you can still see the border of what the brick looks like versus the sticker. And that's true for pretty much all of those there. I think this is an awesome looking ship. It's great. It's great build. It's much more sturdy than I thought. Very, very fun design. Really, really unique. Some cool pieces, some cool colors. There's good play features. It's a good size. It's very, very, I mean, it's big. It's pretty big. And that's really, really nice. I love the shaping of the front sort of cockpit here, from all these different sides, like folding in. I think the lines continuing from the back rings to here are really good, and everything about this is like pretty well done, and I'm excited to see how this ship operates within the movie. So this is pretty great. There's places to put figures, places to put accessories. I don't know actually if you can fit every character in here, because if you put 2 up here, let's say 1 down here, and then I guess you would put maybe 1 in each of these and detach those, and that would be 5. Otherwise, it might be a little tricky to get all 5 in like this cockpit area, but it might be doable. I'll have to experiment with that. So really, really nice ship design here. Very, very fun. And it's sturdy, and for play, I think it's pretty big for certain hands, like to go all the way from there to there. My hands are quite big. I would not hold it from like here. I am holding it from just the ring there, but I think that would put stress on it, so I would encourage people to hold it somewhere from the middle, which still allow it to be played with, but I would be, delicate with it as you would other sorts of things. But when my hand is here, it feels very sturdy and not like it's going to stress the pieces or anything like that. So that's pretty good. And that is how it displays on the display stand. Here's the display stand. It's similar to other stands. Like, it reminds me, for some reason, a lot of like the Fender guitar stand. And maybe it is similar to that. We use some tiled out pieces here, some Technic beams, Technic bricks, and then some slopes. And what it does is just have a flat like brick side up here. And that gets inserted into this area right here. So this stand just slides in there like that, and when it's done, it balances nice. And I will adjust my exposure here so maybe we may see the stand a little better. That's where we're at. And so this is a pretty cool stand. I don't know if it works other ways. It seems like it could also work this way, so it's at a little bit of an interesting angle, as if it's turning or flying. I don't know if it works totally every single way. Let me see if I can get the angle right here. So Okay, that's fine. And then also this way. So sure, could be also that way. Um, it's there, so there are some options for how to set this on the stand and how to display it. But this one I think is kind of the main one, the classic one, and I think that's pretty darn good, in my opinion. So from the side, what it would look like is like like this, with the stand on the bottom there, and those rings kind of floating, hovering in a really nice way. So pretty cool. I'm very happy with the whole build here. This is awesome. In my opinion, I lost a piece. Let me see here. There we go. Really good colors, really good shape, really fun build. Yeah, this is great. I have not built the other Guardians ships, and I haven't built the Quinjet or anything like that. But this really caught my eye. I will show the extra pieces here. We do get a couple extra accessories and then just some very basic extra pieces. So we get a couple extra katanas in the silver, extra Quill blaster there or accessory, and just a few other couple studs in the gold, and your basic tiles and slopes and stuff, one by ones. So good, few extra pieces. There's a lot of bigger pieces in here, so that's makes sense. And yeah, in this lighting, this looks even better. I should have maybe had my exposure at this the whole time, so forgive me for that. The gold really pops. I love those gold Technic pins there. So really nice. And I like this a lot. So thinking about price, it was $100 for 1,108 pieces, 1,108 pieces. So the price per piece is, in line with what most people kind of say. If it's 10 cents per piece or whatever, this fits in with that. There are some specialized pieces like the fenders in this color, like these windscreens in this color. These corner pieces here are relatively new, those you get several of, and then all the the satin translucent you get, so there, and then I mean you get a ton of those mech knees and elbow, arm, and leg pieces. So I'm sure there are probably people who are taking this and making you might be able to make like a mech for each of these characters out of this, which I think would be like a really cool design challenge and use of pieces here to design each of the Guardians a mech based on like the parts that are in this set, because it has so many of these mech arms and legs. Because 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, you'd think 4 for each one. So not for Adam Warlock, but for all of the other Guardians in here. You could maybe make a mech for each one of them out of this, which I think would be really cool. And I'm starting already formulating in my head how I would do that, what parts will be used for what. These could definitely be used for like a front or the chest area there, and same for this piece. And it could be doable. So it's something to think about. Maybe somebody's already done that. I don't know. But either way, there is some good pieces in here. So I think the value is there. I think this is it's a good size display set. It looks good. It comes with the stand. So it has a good presence when it's standing. There's a lot of negative space, empty space, which is fine. So like the footprint actually and how much space it would take up to display is quite substantial. But this does feel like a good, $100 roughly Lego build. And it does feel that way. You get 5 minifigures. Pretty disappointed with the Guardians. Really like Adam Warlock. I think that's a great minifigure. So $100 seems kind of okay for this set, actually. I wouldn't say it's like terribly overpriced.
I think it's moderately priced. Like, it might be right around where this should be, and if it's another thing where if you can get it on sale or whatever, I think it's like then an exceptional deal at $100. It feels all right. I mean, I could have seen Lego pricing this at a much higher price point than what it is, and they didn't. So I think this is a pretty good value, and I loved building it, and I think it displays really, really well. So this is a big A+ for me, and I can't wait to see the new movie and see this ship in action. Same with Baby Rocket's ship. And conveniently enough, I waited to put this together and waited to do a video about it until Guardians 3 came out. So I believe that movie is now in theaters. And if you want to see this ship and what it looks like in the film, I believe you are able to go do that. I am excited to do that. But this is really, really awesome. So I like it. I wish the minifigures were better, or at least more unique. But fine, Adam Warlock's really good, but the main thing here, this ship, is really, really awesome. So very, very happy with that. If you like this video, consider giving it a like, and if you like the other videos on my channel, consider subscribing so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I will be doing in the future, including more LEGO Marvel, LEGO Star Wars, and a bunch of other LEGO themes of various shapes, sizes, prices, piece counts, and a bunch more. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my LEGO content in the future. And until next time, thanks. Bye.